Hello, aspirants. Welcome to part 3 of Indus Valley Civilization. So, in the previous two sessions, we understood about the discovery of IVC. We understood its important sites and important findings. Also, we covered some important characteristic features. Today, we are going to proceed ahead with the remaining features of the IVC. So, let us begin with this session. So, first of all, we are going to talk about the transportation system of the Indus Valley Civilization. Okay. Now, archaeologists have discovered many terracotta toy models of bullock carts across the different sites of Indus Valley Civilization. Now, these terracotta models, they suggest that definitely in existence or in practice, bullock carts existed and they were widely used as the means of transportation for goods and for people across the land routes. Okay, so bullock carts were an important means of transporting people and goods across the land routes. Even the planning, like we know that Harappan cities followed a grid pattern, okay, where the main streets and the subsequent streets intersected each other at 90 degree. Now, even the street corners were rounded off. Okay, so why the street corners were rounded off? In order to ensure or facilitate smooth movement of the bullock carts. Okay, apart from this, Harappans also used riverine routes. We know that Harappan civilization thrived on the banks of river Indus and its tributaries, right? Like the tributaries like Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Satluj. Okay, so these were the crucial tributaries which were used for the riverine routes. Okay, now, so definitely for the riverine routes, what was used? Ships were used. And how can we confirm this? From the discovery of a seal. So there is a seal discovered from the Harappan civilization. This seal has a depiction of ship, and that hints towards the use of ship for the riverine routes. Not only this, even the coastal routes, that is, we all know that from Lothal, dockyard has been discovered, and that hints towards the coastal route or the coastal travel where the people of the Harappan civilization were in contact with the distant lands as well. Okay, so for that also, ships were used on a large scale. So these were the different means of transportation used by the people of the Harappan civilization. Now let us try to understand the contact of the Harappans. Okay. Now we all know that up till now we are aware that Harappans were in contact with the people of the distant land. So who were they? So Harappans primarily were in contact with the people of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia was a contemporary civilization to that of Harappa. It was again a Bronze Age civilization, and this civilization flourished in the present day area of Iraq and Iran. To be precise, it flourished on the banks of two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. Okay, so Euphrates and Tigris were the two rivers on whose banks this civilization flourished. Okay, so Mesopotamian people and the Harappans were in contact with each other. Can we confirm this? Because Harappan script is not yet decoded, but the script of Mesopotamian civilization is deciphered. So there are inscriptions from this civilization dating to around 3000 BCE, which hints towards a contact of Harappan people and the people of Mesopotamia. So there are inscriptions dating from around 3000 BCE. Okay. And it mentions that the people of Mesopotamia were in contact with the people of Meluhha. Now, what is this Meluhha? So, archaeologists they say that, or the historians they predict that Meluhha was probably an ancient name for Harappa. See, Harappa was a name given by Indians, Indian historians, archaeologists. Like Dayaram Sahani, he discovered that site, he named it as Harappa. But originally, what those people referred to this land, we are not aware. So Mesopotamians probably referred to this land as the land of Meluhha. Okay, and also in that inscriptions, it is mentioned that there were two intermediate trading stations between Mesopotamia and Meluhha. The first station was, can you see over here? If you are coming from Mesopotamia, the first station was Dilmun. Dilmun refers to the present day Bahrain country, which is a West Asian Gulf nation. Okay, so it is a present day Bahrain, which was at that point of time referred to as Dilmun. And second halt was at Makan. Makan refers to the Makaran coast, okay, present day Makaran coast. Probably at that time it was referred to as Makan. So these were intermediate trading stations where the people could halt, uh, take rest, okay, recharge themselves, and then proceed ahead in their journey. Fine. So in this way, from Mesopotamia, they contacted the people. They came to Harappa and traded with the people of Harappan civilization. What are other instances, or what are the other pointers that suggest this contact? So most importantly, seals of Harappa. Many seals of the Harappan civilization are discovered from the site of Mesopotamia. Also, many Harappan goods like the Harappan beads, Harappan pottery are discovered in Mesopotamia. So, this hints towards the trade contact between Meluhha, that is the name given by Mesopotamia, the contact between Harappa and the Mesopotamian civilization. So, do remember this. This is very important, and this hints towards the ancient linkages and the ancient contacts. Okay, now let us move ahead and understand the trading aspect of the Harappan civilization. So, one thing we are aware that they traded with the Mesopotamians. What were the other means of trade sources for the Harappan people? So, Harappans practiced both internal and the external trade. They probably got copper from Rajasthan area, the present day Rajasthan area. Now, if you guys remember, we had studied the Chalcolithic cultures, and in that Chalcolithic cultures, we understood about Ahar Gilund culture, which is also referred to as Banas culture. Okay, so Ahar culture or the Banas culture flourished around the area of the Khetri mines in Rajasthan, and these mines are known for copper. So it is said that from that area, copper was exported to, or it was given to, the people of Harappan civilization. So the people of Banas Valley, Chalcolithic age, Chalcolithic cultures, they were the contemporaries of Harappan civilization. And Harappan people literally needed copper on a big scale. The reason was that to make the alloy of bronze. Okay, so Harappans used bronze extensively, and in order to make the alloy of bronze, you need copper on a large scale. So from Rajasthan, they got the copper. Okay. Then it is also said that they even got copper from Oman, a West Asian country. Okay, so from Oman also probably they got the copper. Then tin. Tin is also very much important in order to make the alloy of bronze. So it is said that probably they got the tin from present day Afghanistan area and from the Iran area. Okay. And then gold. From where did they get the gold? Because gold was used to make the ornaments. So from where did they get the gold? They got the gold from Karnataka. You know that in Karnataka there are KGF, Kolar gold fields. Okay, so probably from there they got this gold. How can we say that the gold was from here? By looking at the quality of the gold, the purity of the gold, you can confirm that. Okay, and what about the precious stones? So they got the precious stones like agate, chert, steatite from Gujarat. Okay, from Gujarat they got it, even from Iran and Afghanistan. Especially there was a lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli is the blue color stone which they got it from Afghanistan. Lapis lazuli. Okay, so this they got it from Afghanistan. Fine. So in this manner, they were able to fulfill their needs through this elaborate trade contacts. Okay. So once again, copper they got it from Rajasthan and probably also from Oman in West Asia. Tin they got it from Afghanistan and Iran. Gold from Karnataka and precious stones from Gujarat, Iran, and Afghanistan. Now we are going to understand about the seals and sealings. Okay, so what do you mean by seals and the sealings? So seal is this entire seal. Okay, and sealings are the impressions on this is a sealing. Okay, now what are these seals and sealings with respect to Harappan civilization, and what is their significance? Now, by the way, you can get this a question in the mains examination, direct short note on the seals and sealings. Why? Because seals and sealings are the artistic expressions of Harappan civilization. They are a part of their art and culture as well. Okay, so hence you can expect a question on this. Now, if you look at the seals and sealings, archaeologists have discovered thousands of seals across the different sites of the Harappan civilization. Okay, now these seals were made up of different material. What were these materials? Let us try to figure it out. The most commonly used material was steatite. Do remember this? Steatite was the most commonly used material to make the seals. Second is agate. Third is chert, chert, chert. Fourth is copper. Fifth is faience. And finally is your terracotta. Okay, so do remember all these materials that were used to make the Harappan seals. Okay, now seals were of different shapes and sizes, but if you look at a standardized or a particular seal which is found across the sites, that is a seal which is 2 by 2 square inches. Okay, so standardized Harappan seal was 2 by 2 square inches. Now, if you look at the seal, on every seal, you will find some pictographic thing. This is nothing but the Harappan script. So seals are very important because they contain Harappan script. Apart from that, the seals also contains different images. These are the images depicting the life of the Harappan civilization, because the seals depict different animals, the animals with which Harappans probably were in contact with, or they also depicted the religious beliefs of the Harappans. Okay, for example, we have Pashupati seal, which depict the religious life of the Harappan civilization. Fine. So seals are very crucial. They are very important. And the script is there, which is a pictographic one, which is yet to be deciphered. Seals and the sealings are the beautiful expressions of artistic skills of the people of this civilization. And it also seems that seals were widely used by the merchants and traders to stamp their goods. Okay. So first of all, this could act as a symbol of trade. Okay, so for example, if any bag came to Mesopotamia or to any other place, and if there is this logo, so they will easily identify this as a good from Harappan civilization. Okay, so that is a symbol, that is a mark of a trade. So that could be there. Second important thing, it could also help to stamp the goods. Like for example, if there is a good, this is a good, we have packed something into this which we need to export. So clay was put on this, and on that clay the impression of seal was marked. Okay, so the seal's impression was marked and then it was sent. So if the seal was tampered, it means that the product was disturbed. Okay, and if the seal was as it is, it means that the product was untouched, it was intact. Okay, so in this manner the seals were used. And if you look at the seals, different animals are depicted. Okay, one animal which is widely depicted across the Harappan seals is unicorn. Okay, unicorn is a mythical animal. It actually does not exist. It's a abstract animal, a mythical one. Okay, so unicorn is there widely depicted, and second is elephant. Elephant is also widely depicted. Okay, so this hints what, once upon a time that entire area was an evergreen area where elephants thrived. Okay, apart from that, we also find animals like rhinoceros is there, Indian bull is there, tiger is there, elephant we have already discussed, bison is there, goats are there, buffalo, all these animals are depicted on the Harappan seals. Okay, but one animal which is absent from the Harappan seals. Can you guess it? And by the way, this was a PYQ. Okay, so that animal is cow. UPSC had given a question where they had given the list of animals, and the question was that among, and one of the option was cow, and the other animals were there, elephant, tiger. Okay, and the question was that which of the following animal was not depicted on any of the Harappan seals? Answer is cow. You do not find cow on any of the Harappan seals. Okay, cow worship actually began in India from the Vedic period onwards. Okay, so I hope the importance of seals is clear. Now let us try to understand about the script, because script is widely depicted on the seal. So seal is the primary thing where we get the Harappan script. Okay. Now if you look at the Harappan script, it is pictographic. There are big symbols, logos type. Okay, so it is a pictographic one. We all know that it is undeciphered. Some people claim that we have discovered the Harappan script, but until and unless it is not official from the government of India or from the Archaeological Survey of India, do not acknowledge the information. Okay, and depending upon that information, do not write your answers in the examination. Okay, your answers should be based on the authenticate sources only. Fine. Now, from this thousands of Harappan seals, archaeologists have identified literally 400 to 600 symbols. And all these symbols, can you see where these symbols are the pictographic in nature? But what does it mean? What is the significance of that symbol? That is not yet understood. Okay. And if you look at average inscription, it contains 5 to 6 symbols. Okay, so on an average, you will get 5 to 7 symbols in each seal. Okay, in each inscription, you can say. Only there is one inscription which contains 10 signs or symbols that was discovered from Dholavira, which we have discussed. Dholavira signboard, it is called as. Okay, so Dholavira signboard is very famous because it contains a big, like this signboard, and there are 10 symbols of the Harappan script. Okay, now Harappan script is considered to be, like, whatever studies that have been done, it reveals that it used Bosto-Frieden's pattern, Bosto-Frieden's style. Now, what is the meaning of this? So basically, the one line was written from right to left, like this, right to left. The second line was written from left to right. Third line, again right to left. Fourth line, again left to right. So this continues. Okay, it is said that. Okay, so that is called as the Boostro-Friedan pattern. Okay, so usually these many lines were not there. You will get two lines, for example, like this, two lines. So one line was like this and second line was like this. So first was, it was written in this direction, second in this direction. This pattern is called as Boostro-Friedan pattern. Archaeologists say that this pattern was probably used by the Harappans. Okay. Now we are going to understand a seal which depicts the religious belief of Harappan people, and that was the seal of Pashupati Mahadev. Okay, so basically this seal, it is a steatite seal made up of steatite, and this was discovered from the site of Mohenjo-daro. So please remember, from where was this Pashupati seal discovered? This was discovered from the site of Mohenjo-daro. Okay, now if you look at this seal clearly, I'll just minimize my image. Okay, this is the limit. Fine. So if you look at this seal, you can see over here there's a human figure. He's in a seated posture. Can you see over here? It's a seated posture, probably a Padmasan, and he is in a yogic posture. There is a headdress, okay, like this. Something he's wearing, horn headdress is there, and many animals are surrounding him. So which are these animals? By the way, this was a PYQ. Animals surrounding Pashupati seal. Okay, so the animals, you can remember it. BTER. B for buffalo. Okay. Uh, T for tiger. So there's a tiger. E for elephant. And R for rhinoceros. Okay, so can you see over here? There's a rhino, there's a buffalo, there's an elephant over here, and there is a tiger over here. So four animals are surrounding the DT. Okay, and the DT is three-faced DT. Can you see over here? Three faces. There's a front face, side face, and this is, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, which is there in Hinduism. Three-faced DT. So that is the three-faced DT is there. That also you need to remember. Okay. Apart from that, at the bottom, okay, towards the leg posture of the deity, there are antelopes. Okay, antelopes are deers. Okay, so there are two deers, or you can say a pair of deer is there. Fine. So, Sir John Marshall, when he was studying the seal, he said that this hints towards Pashupati. Pashupati, lord of animals. And we all know that Shiva is regarded as a Pashupati Nath. There's a big temple in Nepal, Pashupati Nath temple. Okay. And this also hints towards probably worship of Shiva in the Indus Valley Civilization, or a precursor of Shiva. So this is a very important seal which hints towards the religious beliefs of the Indus Valley Civilization. There is one more seal in which people tree is depicted. Okay, there's one more seal on which there is a people tree, and it is shown that animals and humans are bowing in front of that people tree. And if you guys know that today also in Hinduism, people tree is revered. It is considered to be sacred. We offer water to the people thread. Even we tie thread to the people tree. It is considered to be auspicious. So even that was worshipped across the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so please remember Pashupati seal, and remember there was one more seal which depicted the worship of a people tree, which is today also followed in Hinduism. Okay, then now we are going to understand the different sculptures that were discovered from the Harappan civilization. Sculptures are a part of art and culture of the Indus Valley civilization. Directly, you can get a question in the mains examination because the syllabus topic says that Indian heritage and culture. So you can expect a question from this part. Okay, so bearded man was discovered again from the site of Mohenjo-daro. this particular sculpture was made up of steatite. Do remember this, because last time UPSC had asked about the dancing girl was made up of. So probably next time there could be a question on bearded man made up of. Okay, so bearded man was made up of steatite. Fine, and bearded man represents a priest. Why he is considered to be a priest? Because if you look at his posture, he's wearing a shawl. Okay, he is draped in a shawl which is coming from his right arm and it goes across its left shoulder. And if you look at the present day priest in India, they oftenly wear such shawl. Okay, so that is one reason. Also, his eyes were elongated and half closed. So archaeologists say that he was probably in a meditative posture, in a yogic posture. Okay. Next important thing, on the shawl, you can see this pattern. This pattern, this one, this is called as a trefoil pattern. So please remember this. The shawl is decorated with a trefoil pattern. And this shawl also hints towards the manufacturing of cloth. Okay, so manufacturing of cloth with the design trefoil pattern is also hindered by this sculpture. Okay, if you look at this, now the sculpture is damaged, but it is very well constructed. The eyes are elongated. You can see the mustache. Okay, the short mustache. Okay, sorry, mustache is over here. A short mustache is over here. Okay, and this is the beard. Okay, not to disturb the image, I have a habit to draw. Okay, I'll erase it. Okay, fine. So there is a beard, there is a mustache, there is a beard. Can you see over here something like over here, bone over here? Okay, so on the head there is some form of band. Okay, and here is middle partition. So middle partition is there, and there is a fillet like some form of a band is there. Once again, I have drawn the diagrams. I'll clear it. Okay, fine, just a second. And also there is an armlet worn by him. Okay, so here is the armlet. Can you see? Okay, so some form of armlet basically we like it is being worn to ward off evil spirit. Okay, so on the left shoulder there is an armlet. Okay, so that is also there. Fine. So all these are the important things which you find from this. Sorry, armlet is on the right hand, not left. This is the right hand. Okay. Fine. So please remember this bearded man, a very important sculpture from the Indus Valley Civilization with site Mohenjo-daro, made up of with stones, steatite. Okay, and these are the different important attributes. Let us proceed ahead with the next thing. The next is male torso. Now, male torso was discovered from the site of Harappa. And so remember, this is from Harappa, major art discovered from the site of Harappa, made up of red sandstone. And there are sockets. Can you see over here? These are the sockets. So this means that it was attachable and detachable. Okay, so you can attach the head, you can attach the arms, and then you can detach it also. Fine. And legs are broken. Uh, and the figure is very well baked, and the abdomen region and all is very prominent. It's very well baked. Okay, very well carved and finished work. Coming towards the dancing girl, there was a question in 2025 on dancing girl. Dancing Girl statue or the sculpture was discovered from the site of Mohenjo-daro. Dancing Girl was made up of, she was made from a technique. Okay, first of all, she was made up of bronze. So this was a PYQ in 2025. Dancing Girl was made up of which of the following metals? So answer is bronze. Okay, now the technique used to make the dancing girl was the lost wax technique. This technique is also called as the technique of Sire Pardu. Please remember this technique, Sire Pardu, or the lost wax technique. So what is being done in this technique? So first of all, you have to take a wax. Okay, you have taken a wax, and out of the wax, you are making a model. Okay, on that model, so you have made a dancing girl of a wax. You have shaped that wax and you have made a model. On that wax, you are putting a layer of a mud and you are baking it in the sun. So now what will happen? That mud will become very solidified, hardened, okay? And then a hole is done. That mud, that entire structure is given a slight heat. Now we know that the melting point of the wax, okay, is very low. So little heat can melt the wax. So exactly if you will provide little heat to that structure, the wax will melt and the entire wax will melt and come down from that mud. But inside that mud, you already have an impression of that model. Okay. So for example, this is the model you have made. I'm just drawing a rough structure. Like for example, this model you have made, okay, like this. And on this you have applied a mud. So if you have now applied heat to it, so this will all melt and come down. But inside this mud, you will get this impression, the carving you will get. Okay. Now what they used to do in that, from that hole, so the hole was made, right? In that hole, they used to pour molten bronze. So molten bronze used to come, and that bronze used to take the shape of that impression. So already there was an impression, okay, some impression was there. So it used to take that impression of the, it used to take the shape of that impression. And it was kept to be sun dried, or it was baked and it was solidified. And then they used to take off this mud. They used to hit it and remove all the mud, and then they got this bronze sculpture. So this technique today also it is used in India. It is called as the lost wax technique, or it is called as the Sire Perdu, where you do not have to attach anything. You will get a complete model. Okay. Because in that impression, you're pouring the molten bronze and you will get the entire thing back. Okay. Now, dancing girl, if you look at her features, she is wearing a necklace. Okay. Can you see this hand? It is heavily bangled. One hand is on her hip. Here again, there are bangles. Okay. Her right hand is on her hip, and the left hand is in a dancing posture. Okay. Just a second. Yeah, so this is her right hand. So correct. Right hand is on her hip, and this posture is called as in Hindu, in Indian dancing system. This posture is called as Tribhanga. Tribhanga posture of dance, okay, which is very famous in Odissi dance type and all, okay. So where there is a slight bend over here, and you're keeping your hand on the hip, okay. Apart from that, her eyes are flattened, okay, large and like elongated ones. Nose is little bit flattened, okay. So these are the important features. And cowrie shell necklace is there, okay. Cowrie shell necklace is there. Hair is tied in a bun. So probably she had a long hair and tied in a bun, okay, and bangles all over her left arm. Fine. So this is about the dancing girl, and why she's called as a dancing girl, because of her posture, which is called as a Tribhanga dance posture. Okay. Coming towards the next important, she was also discovered from Mohenjo-daro. Okay. The next is the discovery of Mother Goddess. Now, Mother Goddess's images were found from many sites. This particular image was found from Mohenjo-daro. Okay. So, probably it hints that Mother Goddess was worshipped as a female deity. Pashupati Nath as the male deity, Mother Goddess as the female deity. Okay. And here is a fan shaped headdress. Okay. Necklaces she is wearing. Okay. And there is one particular Mother Goddess where it is shown that from her womb, okay, from her navel, they have shown plant is coming. Okay, like this plant is coming. So what does this show? This shows that she is a Mother Earth, and this is the sign of fertility. So even that image, that model is also there. Okay, so Mother Goddess is also made up of, she's made up of terracotta, and this model is from uh, Mohenjo-daro. Okay, many such images of Mother Goddesses have been discovered associated with the fertility cult and worship of a female deity. Fine. Now we are at the last portion of this civilization. So we have covered everything, all the important findings, all the important features. Okay. One thing we need to acknowledge that across this civilization, archaeologists have not discovered any single weapon. Okay. So this hints that Harappan people were peace loving people. We have not found any single weapon, no chariots, nothing. So definitely they were very peace loving people. Second important thing, no temples, no big palaces. So probably temple worship did not exist during that time. Even no elaborate symbols of ritualism, nothing has been discovered from this civilization. Okay. But definitely urban traits are the characteristic or the hallmark feature of this civilization. Okay. Now we are going to understand what happened to the civilization. Why did it decline? What are the reasons for its demise? Okay. Or did it really demise? Let us figure out. So, first of all, there is a very famous theory given by Sir Mortimer Wheeler, that the theory is of Aryan invasion. So, according to some historians and especially Mortimer Wheeler, people from Central Asia, they slowly and gradually entered into Indian subcontinent, and they were the ones who massacred the people of Harappan civilization. And the people who came to India from Central Asia, they are referred to as Aryans. It is said that Aryans massacred the people of Indus Valley Civilization and they started their own culture in India, which is referred to as the Vedic culture. Okay. And how can we confirm this? On what basis he gave this theory? So he said this on the basis of the skeletons found from Mohenjo-daro. If you remember, we studied that in Mohenjo-daro many skeletons were discovered, and hence the name Mound of the Dead was given to Mohenjo-daro. So probably this he was hinting towards. But today, many Indian historians differ on this theory. Okay, we will be understanding this theory in more detail when we'll be studying the Vedic age. But this is one primary theory given by Mortimer Wheeler for the decline of the Harappan civilization, that is, the onset of Aryans. Okay, the second important thing, shifting of the river systems. Okay, now we all know that rivers played a very important role in the thriving of this Indus Valley civilization. Indus River, its tributaries, Ghaggar Hakra, the fragment of Saraswati, played a crucial role in sustaining the Harappan cities, provided water for agriculture, for the long distance trade, the for the riverine routes. The water was very important. Okay, however, it is said that tectonic activities played a very important role, and these activities changed the courses of the river. Okay, now it is being said that earlier Yamuna was the tributary of Indus. Okay, so it is said that because of the tectonic activity, Yamuna joined Ganga. It broke out from Indus. Okay, so this is one theory which is being given out. Second important theory, it is being said that drying up of the river Saraswati. Okay, so the entire river Saraswati has been dried up, and with the satellite findings, archaeologists have praised, and even the experts in the field of geography, okay, even they have traced the course of the Saraswati river, okay, which today does not exist. Okay, so Indus and Ghaggar Hakra river, they were very important. Tectonic activities altered their river courses, and most importantly the Ghaggar Hakra, the fragment today exists, but the original river Saraswati, it completely dried away. Okay, so, water scarcity is considered to be one of the important reasons for the decline of this civilization, because slowly and gradually agriculture collapsed. Because of the collapse of agriculture, the surplus collapsed, the trade collapsed, and probably people abandoned these sites and they shifted to somewhere else. Okay, so that is one of the reason. Shifting of the river system. Remember, Yamuna considered to be the tributary of, originally it was a tributary of Indus, but it is said that because of the tectonic activities, it shifted its course and became the tributary of Ganga. The next important thing is flooding. Now, it is said that Harappan cities, they were located across the rivers, okay, Indus and its tributaries. And initially, there was too much of heavy monsoon, heavy rainfall was there, that resulted into frequent flooding. And this is suggested from the Harappan houses, which have, so after floods, there is a layer of silt being deposited. So in many of these settlements, the layers and layers of silts have been discovered. So periodic flooding may have contributed to the decline of the cities like Mohenjo-daro, where there are also evidences of rebuilding. But people might have been frustrated how frequently you will rebuild your house every year if there is a flood. Okay, so recurring floods could have damaged the infrastructure, the crops. Okay, made the land less habitable, and probably because of that people might have abandoned these urban cities and they migrated somewhere else. Okay, the next is climate change. Now, the most importantly, initially around 3000 BCE, okay, this entire place supported luxurious vegetation. It was a period of very good monsoon where there used to be flooding and all, but slowly and gradually it resulted into decline in the monsoon, and that hints towards climate change. And once upon a time, the area which was very luxurious, green, Okay, that became arid and semi-arid. If you look today at Rajasthan area, Punjab area, it's an arid and semi-arid area. So probably slowly and gradually. So earlier there were too many floodings and then reduced rainfall. So that have resulted into droughts, impacting agricultural productivity, and that could have led to the abandonment of the site. Okay. Finally, the last reason is deforestation. Now, Harappans used burnt bricks on a very large scale. On each and every architectural building, burnt brick was used. And in order to make the burnt bricks, you require many trees to be cut for the wood. Okay, even bronze, in order to make the alloy of bronze, you require to melt copper and tin. You require so much of heat, fire. So probably large scale cutting of trees could have resulted into ecological imbalance, loss of biodiversity, soil erosion, reduced fertility of land, and all this affected the sustainability of the urban life. And probably today historians say that the people of Harappan civilization slowly and gradually abandoned these sites and they shifted to later areas. They shifted into the Gujarat area, to the UP area, Bihar area. So modern day historians, Indian historians, they discard the Aryan invasion theory and they said that the people of the Harappan civilization migrated to different areas. Okay. Coming towards the last part of this topic, legacy of the Indus Valley Civilization. So, though the Indus Valley Civilization declined, does it completely disappear? No. Today, also, we inherit the important traits of this civilization. For example, the urban planning. So many lessons could be learned from this civilization. The grid planning, the importance given to the streets, important street planning, importance given to the drainage system, health, hygiene, sanitation. It is a model of sophisticated urban planning which Indians have inherited and still we could learn from them. Second is water management. The way they managed the water reservoirs, the way they had the advanced system of water supply. 700 wells were discovered from Mohenjo-daro. Can you imagine? The system of waste disposal. If you remember, the street drains had soak pits. They had the chambers for the periodic cleaning. All this hints towards great system of management. Trade and commerce, the long distance trade. Today also India carries the legacy of the long distance trade with so many countries. Art and craft, Harappan pottery still continued in India. Today also you can find that black and red pottery widely used. Today also we use the beads for the jewelry purpose. Okay, metal, bronze is also used. Religious. Okay, if you look at the symbols, Pashupati symbol, worship of people tree, mother goddess. All these things still thrive in India. Today also Shiva is revered, Pashupati Shiva in the form of Pashupati is revered. People tree is sacred. Okay. Ritualistic bathing, the great bath and the ritualistic bathing. Today also it is there in India. Cotton cultivation. Harappans did it. Today also we do it. Standardization of bricks, standardization of weights and measures. Even that we have inherited. That is a legacy of this Harappan civilization. Pottery, agricultural foundation, plowed field. Okay. Advanced technique of agriculture. That is the legacy which they have left behind. And most importantly, the message which this civilization gave to the mankind, peaceful coexistence. So, peacefully they coexisted. The society was extremely peaceful without any elaborate structures and temples and palaces. And most importantly, they depict an urban civilization, traits of urban skills. Okay. Or you can say that greater engineering skills, architectural excellence, all these are the things which we can definitely inherit from this civilization. Okay, so indeed this is the glorious part of Indian history which we should cherish, and there are many things which we can learn from this civilization. So thank you so much for attending all this series of lectures on Indus Valley civilization. We have comprehensively covered the civilization from your prelims perspective, from your mains perspective, GS mains perspective, and in this three parts. Okay, so this is not part two, this is a part three. By mistakenly, this is part three, part two over here. So thank you so much for being the part of this journey through world's first urban civilization, and very significant civilization which we Indians should be indeed proud about. Okay, in the next session, we are going to study about Vedic age, and we are going to study the theory of Aryan invasion in detail. Okay. If anyone is interested for personalized history optional coaching, you can message in the comment section. You will be contacted. Okay. Thank you so much for the session. Thank you. We'll end here.